In the last lecture, we have solved some problems on normalization. Given a wave function, you will be asked to find out the unknown normalization constant in that wave function, and by making use of normalization condition, and once that unknown is known or constant is known, then that wave function becomes a normalized wave function. So here is the last problem which I am going to discuss on normalization, and is fourth one: normalize the following wave functions The first wave function that is given is psi1 equal to a1, this unknown, and e raised to minus alpha x square. And second function is psi2, unknown is a2, x e raised to minus alpha x square, where x is variable in both the wave functions, and the range of x is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Even if the range is not given, even then you have to understand that the limits of integration in a normalization condition will be from minus infinity to plus infinity, which are the limits of one-dimensional space or three-dimensional space in case of volume integral. Alright, so what we are going to do is we are going to make use of the normalization condition. So solution of this problem will start from the normalization condition is the normalization condition is integral minus infinity to plus infinity psi star psi, and in one dimensional case variable of integration is x dx equal to 1. So this is normalization condition which guarantees that that particular quantum mechanical entity such as a particle definitely exists somewhere there in the one-dimensional space which ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity. And one on the right hand side is maximum value of normalized probability. So by making use of this particular condition, we will normalize the first wave function. So for psi1, this normalization condition will become psi1 star psi1. So this product will become obviously a1 square, because a1 into a1 star, integral minus infinity to plus infinity e raised to minus alpha x square, and its conjugate will be still e raised to minus alpha x square. So it becomes e raised to minus 2 alpha x square dx, and what is important here is right hand side is known, and therefore we can determine this unknown constant. Right hand side is maximum value of probability. Alright, how will you solve this particular integral? This fits in a standard formula, namely integral from minus infinity to infinity e raised to minus ax square dx is equal to square root of pi by a. So by making use of this standard formula, using this standard formula minus infinity to infinity e raised to minus ax square dx equal to square root of pi by a. Remember, it's an exponential function. In the index it has minus sign, some constant a, x square, variable square, then pi by a. this is the standard formula which we are going to use for solving this particular integral. So mod a1 square, and then this will become, what is value of a and what is value of constant a? Twice alpha in this case. So square root of pi by a. A in this case is twice alpha. Right hand side is known 1. And therefore a1 square equal to, this goes to that side, 2 alpha divided by pi. And therefore a1 is 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1/4. Square root of this will be 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1/4. So we have found out this normalization constant, this unknown normalization constant. Now the normalized wave function will be, the normalized wave function is, psi1 equal to the one in which value of that constant is known, a1. So twice alpha upon pi raised to 1/4 multiplied by e raised to minus alpha x square. E raised to minus alpha x square. So this is normalized wave function in which this unknown or this normalization constant is known. And what is the speciality of this normalized wave function? If you integrate mod psi square dx, then this will definitely comes out to be equal to 1 or unity. Now the second problem which we are going to solve is psi2 equal to a2 x e raised to minus alpha x square. We are going to normalize the second wave function. As usual, the normalization condition is psi star psi dx equal to 1, and therefore for psi2 the normalization condition will become a2 into a2 star a2 mod a2 square minus infinity to infinity x into x star x square e raised to minus 2 alpha x square dx. This is psi star psi or mod psi square. This is equal to 1. This is equal to 1. Now this is a typical form of integration or integral. These are called as gamma integrals. Integrals of the type minus infinity to infinity x raised to n e raised to minus alpha x square dx. This form of integrals are called gamma integrals. Gamma integrals. And how to solve these gamma integrals? If the given integrand is in this particular form, then this particular integral is solved by this particular method. So this stands for gamma n plus 1 divided by 2 upon alpha raised to n plus 1 by 2. If the integral is of this type, x raised to some integer e raised to minus some constant into x square, then the value of that integral is gamma n plus 1 divided by 2 upon that constant raised to this particular thing, this particular entity or quantity, n plus 1 by 2. Now there are two things which can occur. For example, n plus 1 divided by 2 may result in integer value such as 2, 3, 4 and so on, or it may result in half integer value like 3 by 2, 5 by 2, 7 by 2 and so on. So depending upon that, if it results in integer value, then value of gamma n, then the value of gamma n is n minus 1 factorial. Value of gamma 1 is 1. and value of gamma 1/2 is square root of pi. So these are standard formulae which you are going to remember, which you will have to remember. If gamma n plus 1 by 2 results in integer value, then such as gamma 3, then value of that gamma function will be 3 minus 1 factorial, means 2 factorial. Value of gamma 3 is 2 factorial, value of gamma 4 is 3 factorial, value of gamma 5 is 4 factorial, and so on. And these are the standard results, like gamma 1 results in 1 and gamma half results in square root of pi. However, if this gamma function results in half integer value such as gamma 7 by 2, then this is evaluated as follows. 7 by 2 minus 1, 5 by 2. It will start from 5 by 2 into 5 by 2 minus 1, 3 by 2. 3 by 2 minus 1, 1/2, and will end with gamma half. Will always end with gamma half. 7 by 2 minus 1 is 5 by 2, 5 by 2 minus 1 is 3 by 2, 3 by 2 minus 1 is half, and it ends with gamma half, with value of gamma half equal to square root of pi. So value of gamma 7 by 2 is 5 by 2 into 3 by 2 into half into square root of pi, into square root of pi. This is how gamma function of a half integer value is evaluated. Now let us apply this particular formula to our integral x square. So this will become, so in our case this will be a2 square into value of n is 2, so gamma n plus 1 by 2 will be gamma 3 by 2, gamma 3 by 2, because value of n is 2, n plus 1 by 2 will be gamma 3 by 2. Value of the constant is 2 alpha, so divided by 2 alpha raised to this thing 3 by 2, n plus 1 by 2, 3 by 2, and this is equal to 1. So this is what we want to calculate, gamma 3 by 2 upon 2 alpha raised to 3 by 2 equal to half. So this is a2 square into gamma 3 by 2 will be evaluated as 3 by 2 minus 1, 1/2, and then gamma half, whose value is square root of pi, okay, and then upon 1 upon 2 raised to 3 by 2 alpha raised to 3 by 2. So this can be written as 2 root 2, and alpha raised to 3 by 2 can be written as alpha raised to alpha square root alpha. Right hand side is 1. Right hand side is 1. So mod a2 square into 2 into 2, 4, and then square root of 2 alpha. Okay, so square root of pi in the numerator, square root of pi in the numerator, 4 times this root 2 root alpha, 2 alpha. This is equal to 1. This is equal to 1. So we want to simplify that. So this will become a2 square and then square root of pi, a2 square will become something like this. This is equal to, so that goes to that side, 4 2 alpha upon square root of pi, square root of pi. So, or a2 square equal to 4, and then this 2 alpha, 2 into 2, 4, and 2 alpha, okay, alpha raised to alpha into alpha, this 2 alpha, okay, 2 alpha square root of pi, and then what I am going to do is, I have committed a mistake somewhere. A2 square is square root of 3 by 2, so this half into this pi, 2 into 2, 4, and then this 2 alpha. One more alpha is there, so 4 alpha is here. 2 into 2, 4 alpha. Okay, 4 alpha. When this alpha is pushed inside, then this will become alpha raised to 3, because alpha square will go inside, and this is what the result is. From this you can calculate A2, which is square root of this thing, and therefore normalization constant A2 of second wave function psi 2 is square root of this, square root of 4 2, and then square root of this thing, 2 alpha cube upon pi raised to half upon raised to 1/4, because square root is already there. One more square root will result in raised to 4. So this is the value of normalization constant, and therefore the normalized wave function is psi 2 equal to, value of A2 is this, 2 alpha cube upon pi raised to 1/4, and then x multiplied there, e raised to minus alpha x square. So this is normalized wave function, the one in which we have found out the unknown normalization constant, namely A2. So here ends the problems on normalizing wave function. Then we will go ahead here to discuss the next article, namely probability current density. So the next article which I will be discussing is probability current density. Probability current density. So in this article I am going to obtain equation of continuity, and we are going to interpret the probability current density and probability density as well. So the starting point of this particular article is the Schrodinger equation. Time dependent Schrodinger equation in 3 dimension is minus h cross square upon 2m del square psi plus v psi. How to remember Schrodinger equation? The kinetic energy written in operator form plus potential energy written in operator form operating on state function equal to IH cross time dependent term dabba psi by dabba t. This is our equation number 1. Let us take complex conjugate of equation 1. Minus h cross square upon 2m del square psi star. Psi will become psi star, plus v will remain v because it is a constant, v psi star. Then I will get replaced by minus IH cross dabba psi star by dabba t. So what we have remembered, we have started with time dependent Schrodinger equation in a 3 dimension. What is the speciality of time dependent Schrodinger equation in a 3 dimension? The speciality is both psi wave function as well as potential energy or potential V, both are functions of r and t, position and time. We have written Schrodinger equation, we have taken its complex conjugate. Now what I am going to do, is I am going to multiply equation 1 by psi star minus h cross square upon 2m. So I am multiplying it by psi star, so it will come before this operator psi star del square psi plus v psi star psi. It doesn't matter, it is mere multiplication, v being constant, and then IH cross psi star here, and then dabba psi by dabba t. This is our equation number 3. I have multiplied equation 1 by psi star and written equation number 3. Now I am multiplying equation 2 by psi and rewriting that equation. Minus h cross square upon 2m. This is multiplied by psi, so psi del square psi star plus v psi star psi minus ih cross multiplied by psi dabba psi star by dabba t. This is our equation number 4. Okay. Write Schrodinger equation in 3 dimension, take its complex conjugate, multiply equation 1 by psi star and equation 2 by psi and rewrite this equation. You will get equation number 3 and 4. And now I am subtracting equation 4 from 3. So 3 minus 4 gives me minus h cross square upon 2m minus h cross square upon 2m, then this minus this. So in bracket psi star del square psi minus psi del square psi start. Okay. Then this minus this, they will get cancelled. This minus this, so this will become plus. So IH cross is common. This is equal to IH cross with plus sign, psi star first, psi star dabba psi by dabba t plus psi dabba psi star by dabba t. This is what we have. So this is our next equation number, say 5. Equation number 5. Now what I am going to do is this particular quantity in a parenthesis can be written as del dotted with that particular thing, minus h cross square upon, but before that let us divide throughout by IH cross. Okay, let us divide throughout by IH cross, or it doesn't matter even if you write that del first. Okay, so minus h cross square upon 2m del dotted with psi star del psi minus psi del psi star. This is equal to IH cross and then d dt of psi star psi star psi. So this is nothing but the derivative of this product function, psi star constant and then derivative of psi with respect to t, and plus psi as it is and derivative of psi star with respect to t. Okay, dividing throughout by minus IH cross and shifting that minus sign to that side. Okay, so what I will get is this thing. Minus h cross upon twice im, h cross upon twice im. I have divided this by IH cross, then del dotted with psi star del psi minus psi del psi star, then minus dabba dabba t of psi star psi. Okay, psi star psi, minus sign shifted to that side. This can be written as del, so this being constant can be inserted inside, del dotted with h cross upon twice im, or del dotted with h cross upon twice im, star function first and then del psi minus psi del psi star. Okay, and this quantity is minus dabba t of psi star psi. Okay, so we know that this quantity psi star psi is a probability density, so I am going to denote it by rho, and this particular quantity I am going to denote it by J, which is called as probability current density or simply probability current. And how is this quantity? This quantity is a vector quantity. So this vector differential operator being there in this particular quantity. So, or del dotted with J, this vector quantity, vector differential operator itself is, this operator is itself a vector quantity, vector differential operator, del dotted with J equal to minus dabba rho by dabba t. So this is what we have got. So let us call this as equation number 6, this as 7 and this as 8. Okay, del dotted with J equal to dabba rho by dabba t, where J stands for this quantity H cross upon twice Im and in parenthesis star del psi minus psi del psi star. So J stands for this quantity is 9 and rho stands for probability density psi star psi, where J is this quantity and rho is this quantity, is called as probability density, and this quantity J is called as probability current density or probability current. This particular, so this equation del dot J, equation number 8, can be written in this form. Del dot J equal to minus dabba rho by dabba t, or del dotted with J plus dabba rho by dabba t equal to 0. So this equation is called as equation of continuity. This equation is called as equation of continuity. One important point to be noted is that this quantity J, which is called as a probability current density or probability current, should not be confused with the current which we have in electronics, such as due to electrons or holes. It's not really a electric current. Probability current means probability flow. So current is to be interpreted as a flow and not the one which we have in electronics. So this is probability current or probability current density expression. Psi star psi as usual is probability density, and this equation del dot J equal to minus dabba rho by dabba t and or del dot J plus dabba rho by dabba t is called as equation of continuity. Equation of continuity. So physical significance of this equation of continuity we will discuss in the next lecture, because this particular equation occurs in many branches of physics. So that we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.